Suns decide they're gonna get rid of Frank Jackson. That was quick, right? Just a cup of coffee with us, really. I definitely think that Dwayne Washington Jr.'s performance in the last preseason game against the Nuggets did in Frank Jackson. He looked to be able to control the pace of the offense good enough that we don't need Frank Jackson. So he's gone. And the Suns bring in Saben Lee, most recently with the Pistons. The thing about Saben Lee is he averages 30 points in the G League, but it's just not translating when he's playing in the NBA. We've seen this before. Plenty of Suns players that we've sent to the G League have killed it, but can't do it in the big leagues. Without getting into Saben Lee too much, I like him, but he's kind of a right-handed campaign, and we're gonna have to see if he's developed or can develop anymore and become better than campaign. But I am genuinely intrigued with the subject of this video. Before we get into it, please guys, hit the like button for me. His name is so cool. Adonis Arms. Adonis Arms, for the love of God. But what's even cooler than his name is his story. This kid's story is like legitimately ripped out of a NBA 2K My Career story. Watching him play, say last season against Baylor when he helped lead Texas Tech to beating Baylor, who was ranked #1 at the time, it's really difficult to believe that he didn't make his varsity high school team until he was a senior, and when he did, he averaged under 4 points a game. Actually under 3 points a game. First off, I just want to say I legitimately see actual upside for this kid. We've been doing a lot of moves that are just borderline NBA players. I actually think this is the one that's going to stick. So I just want to put that out there. Adonis really had a dream scenario play out for him. He was 6'1" through high school. He had absolutely no interest in him as a college basketball player. So he's out of high school. He must have been working on his game because he must have been better because he got scouted at LA Fitness in Arizona by the son of a coach for Mesa Community College. So the dream just continues. He grows 3 or 4 more inches and goes from 6'1" to 6'5". So he's a sophomore. He's a little bit taller now. He's got some college experience. He moves his way up to a Division II school, the Northwest Nazarene Nighthawks. He averages 20 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and he gets named Conference Player of the Year. Did our man Adonis Arms stop there? No. Hell no. Junior year, he transfers to the Winthrop Eagles, Division I. After having to sit out due to NCAA transfer rules, he averages 10 points per game for Winthrop in a backup role. And then his senior year, he would once again transfer, this time all the way up to Texas Tech. He averaged 8 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists per game, give or take. Now, just like in an NBA 2K prelude storyline, Adonis goes undrafted in the 2022 NBA draft, headlined by Paolo Banchero, Chet Holmgren, and Jabari Smith. Adonis does get signed though, however, by the Denver Nuggets, and they had him play in the Summer League, and he looked good. He had a game with 20 points. The guy's got really everything offensively, and he seems to have a good defensive game. You see him against #1 Baylor, blocking shots, contesting shots, staying with the ball handler, not being out of place on defense. He can hit floaters. He can dribble into mid-range shots. He can orchestrate the pick and roll, and he can be of help to his teammates when it comes time to get them involved with scoring. And he's very appropriately sized for his position at 6'5". He's bouncy. He's got a really nice jump shot. I mean, step backs, deep threes, you name it. Catch and shoot, off the dribble. He can score in transition. I think it's worth noting that he was only available for 1 day, if that, before James Jones recognizes that this hometown product, this perfect James Jones archetype fit, before he realizes that he's available, and he just goes and grabs him. This is probably somebody who James Jones had an eye on, and for whatever reason hadn't been able to get into our system, but now he has. The Suns have had players that we have failed to develop and that have gone on to play well other places. Christian Wood comes to mind. Had him come in, slip through the door. Danuel House. We were so bad when we had Danuel House that everyone had to go. We didn't really discriminate against anyone. It was just, you're on the team, you're out of here. We're completely rebuilding. But Danuel House turned into a nice basketball player, a nice role player. Richaun Holmes comes to mind. Just let him walk out the door. I really feel like this is another opportunity for the Phoenix Suns to get a hit on a player that for whatever reason I have not been able to figure out is not getting the opportunities that I think he's ready for. All right, so I've shown you some highlights. You've seen how well this kid can move and play. Tell me in the comments below what you think of Adonis Arms. I know you love his name. How do you feel about his game now? I'll see you guys on the next live stream. Until then, go Suns.